I'm Max Doolin. I am the founder of the Spokane Cyber Cup. So thanks for listening along. We're going through Injection City Challenge number 4, SQL injection. So the first thing you should always do is read the prompt. So what does the prompt say? It's literally called SQL injection. SQL injection is a vulnerability class. So that's a pretty good idea to tell us what's going on here. After that, it says there is search functionality for looking up letters of the alphabet. There is a SQL injection within the search functionality. The query is select letter info from search where letter equals your input. The flag is in the SQL table flag. Take the flag from the table. Cool. So we got a lot of information there. We know where the flag is at. We know the table. We know the vulnerability. There's a lot going on here. That's pretty nice. If we go to the browser here and we just type in some letters, it even outputs a SQL query, which is super nice for us to try to learn how to exploit this. If we give it a single quote, then we get an error. It goes, hey, there's an unrecognized character. You'll notice that there's 3 quote double or single quotes here now. And that's a really good indicator that, hey, like it's returning an error message, giving us a weird 500. We've probably found some sort of security issue here with SQL injection. Um, yeah, so we can kind of start messing around with this. So when I try to exploit these sort of injection-based vulnerabilities, I like to take the entire thing and mess around with it. For those who are unfamiliar with SQL injection, SQL is a language called or structured query language. And this is for querying information from databases. So SQL injection is when you can change the meaning of the query with your input, aka inject your input. So this is what our query looks like right here. So I'm going to create a new file here just for easy testing. So when I see a SQL query, the first thing I like to do or SQL injections, I like to see where my input's at. Remember, our goal is to look at information from the flag table. If you're not super experienced with SQL, that's okay. I can explain that pretty easily. Starting from the middle here, we're looking at the search table. So the name of the table we're looking at is search. Then we are selecting letter and info from this table. And the conditional is where letter equals XXX. And this right here is where our input is at, where we can inject our stuff in. Meaning that if we actually put a single quote in here, it actually changes the meaning of the query itself. And if you can change the meaning of the query, you can return arbitrary data, you can modify the database, you can do lots of really nasty things. So the first thing we should probably do is how do we escape this query? Well, we can add a single quote. So now this is going to say select letter info from search where letter equals this. However, we have a leftover single quote. The easiest way to get rid of this is to use a comment. And this comment is just a dash dash. And if we use that, then it makes this completely valid. So if we go back to our Firefox browser and we put this input in there, this is actually completely valid. This is just looking for an empty string now. So we're doing better here. A really classic SQL injection payload would look something like this, where we would escape that and we do or 1 equals 1. So again, our input is going to be this double quote and then the comment, or 1 equals 1, which is going to be true in all cases. Go back here and do that. And I don't have anything currently in the database, but I think during the competition there should be. So that's a really classic example. But now we want to get the information from the flag table. So from what we know about, all we need is this information to actually get the information out of the table, just like we did before, or just like the query shows. So if we start from the beginning, we're going to add a single quote to escape that. We're going to put the double quotes there like I did before. And now we're going to do a union. And a union means we're going to combine 2 queries together into one. So we're going to select star from flag. And we need to make sure that the amount of fields is the same between them. To make it easier, I have just set them to be the same. So the flag table has two parameters in it, or two columns in it. So we're going to take all this stuff like we did before, and we're going to copy it into our search functionality. And we should see the flag is pulled out. So we can see that just like we did before, we can see the single quote we escape, the union, which is going to combine the two queries we've made. We're going to select everything from it, including the flag, and then, from the flag table, and then we're going to put a comment here to end this single quote here. So that is how you solve the SQL injection challenge, where we are modifying the query just like all the other challenges where we inject our dynamic string to where it should not go. So thanks for watching.